That's the fastest you've moved in about 3 weeks. Hello again, and it's a glorious day. Today's the day of the Autumn Equinox, or Happy Mabon if you are a pagan, and it's beautiful. I mean, just look. It couldn't be nicer. Well, not much nicer anyway. What a glorious day. Seems like a good day for a dog walk. Well, it looks like the ploughing has started in earnest, which is I said environmentally not a great thing, but for someone like me who's a bit of a fossil hunter, it's quite good, because when the fields have been ploughed, at the moment this is a very rough cut through it. They'll go through it much finer later on. It turfs up all these lovely flints, and in amongst these flints in the past I've found a number of fossil ammonites and sea urchins, and I've also turned up a couple of hagstones. Now, hagstones, in case you don't know, is basically any stone, no matter what it's made of, any stone through which there is a naturally formed hole. So in other words, you can look through the hole. And they were much valued by witches and people who believed in old folk tales back in the day, because they believed you could look through the hole and see into the other world. When I was a boy growing up in Cornwall, hagstones were called Milpreve. It's just the word in the Cornish language for them. I never could figure out whether Milpreve was plural or singular. You know, is it like sheep? So there's, you know, one sheep and many sheep. Is it one Milpreve and lots of Milpreve? Because in English, of course, the most common way to indicate a plural is put an S on the end. So you'd say Milpreves, but in Cornish, the most common way seems to be put a sort of Y-O-N on the end, which is quite odd. So it'd be Milprevion. Do you know what? This is going to sound and look completely staged, but I've just found a hagstone. There we are. It's a broken old piece of flint. When I saw it, I saw the round crevice there, and it was all full with mud. I pushed the mud through, and it's a complete hagstone. The stone goes, as you can see, the hole goes right the way through. So there you go, found a hagstone. There's a lot of folklore connected with hagstones, which I'm not going to go into here, because there are a lot of websites that will do it much more comprehensively than I can on a video like this. But for me, it was always about the form, it was about the shapes. And I wasn't the only person who thought about this, because if you look at the sculpture of people like Dame Barbara Hepworth, who of course was one of the great St Ives school of painters and sculptors during particularly the late 50s, 1960s, she took a lot of her inspiration from the forms of nature, and there are a lot of weather eroded rocks in Cornwall that have these wonderful gnarly shapes. And she became famous as the first sculptor to pierce the form. You know, the idea that she would actually put a hole through the middle of a shape. And you know, plenty of other people have done it since, but she was kind of the pioneer in this, and I swear she got a lot of those ideas from finding hagstones or Milpreve. Now this field, as you can see, has been completely ploughed, and the harrow's gone over. You can see the lines in the field here. The harrow's gone over it and broken down all the lumps. This is all ready now for seeding, which whatever crop they're going to put in next. But of course the delight for me is that there are flints everywhere now. So here I am in the village of Seer Green, not terribly far from where I live, and I'm going to be running my monster workshop thing here in a little bit, so I'm just going to get some bits out of the car. Now in a previous video you saw me making this thing, didn't you? But today he's just a prop. Well, this event today is a beer festival, so we've got some bouncy castles that everyone can jump up and down on and be sick after they've downed a few pints. But nice selection of ales. I think I planned it badly actually, because I drove to the event, and there's some very, very nice beers here. And I'm not going to be able to drink any of them, or maybe one. But so we've got a nice bar here, or gin area. We've got some live music down in this tent. Looks like it's going to be fun. There's all your cask ales area. Proper stage. Look at that. going to be working in that building up there, which is actually the scout hut. So I'm going to go and have a look at my pitch. Well, I'm sorted for chocolate and a barbecue, most important. You've got to have a barbecue. Oh, wood-fired pizza as well. Not entirely sure if this is going to bring kids in or terrify them. One of the two. So here I am, all set up and ready to go with my monster hat, made for me by the wonderful Juliet Hamilton. And I've already drawn a few monsters to stick on the wall to draw the crowds. I've got a set of tables set up for kids. Apparently I'm taking 9 in at a time. And the idea is that I'm going to show them basically how to design, how to make a monster, by showing them how to draw the various parts and getting them to work out the design. Yep, significantly busier now, and awful lot of people down that end where the music and the beer tent are. Yeah, very good. It's been a lovely day actually. I've had a fantastic time. Lovely time. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Toodle pip, and